our top talker this half hour. We are rewinding the clock.
Sure.
Really rewinding it.
Hey, that is true. Did they even have clocks back then? Anyway, they did. Most of us have hobbies, or they had some form of it. We have hobbies that we're passionate about. How many of you are still dabbling in archery, armory, calligraphy, or brewing mead? Listen, there are people brewing something. We know
Yeah, they
that.
are. I can check none of those boxes. But our Mike Polk Jr. recently met a group of Northeast Ohioans who are living out their pre-17th century dreams.
It is part of the local chapter of a unique worldwide immersive history group. Take a look.
To step into this church social hall in Euclid is to step back in time, into a simpler era of kings and queens and swords and lutes. Frankly, it's all a little overwhelming. Fortunately, I found a chatty noble to help me out.
I am Baron Warder Pietro de Tebaldo. This is a regular Wednesday in the Barony of the Cleftlands. We're part of the Society for Creative Anachronism. We're a historical recreation, reenactment club.
In a nutshell, the organization is devoted to pre-17th century culture. This Ohio chapter is just one of hundreds throughout the world, with more than 30,000 active members around the globe.
The local group was first a student group on Case campus. People graduated and moved out into the community. The club did too.
The SCA's known world is divided into 20 regions, or kingdoms. Within the kingdoms, there are hundreds of local groups called cantons, shires, and baronies. As Clevelanders, we are subjects of the Middle Kingdom, and more specifically, the Barony of the Cleftlands. The Baron is one of the highest-ranking dignitaries at this gathering of like-minded yesteryear enthusiasts.
We have folks practicing the martial arts of armored tournament combat.
I hear that.
Rapier fighting behind us. We have needle workers and fiber workers. The musical group is practicing. We've got a fellow making medieval longbows.
Of course, not everything about pre-17th century life was all that great. Indentured servitude and lack of indoor plumbing come to mind. But the Baron acknowledges that despite their commitment, they are not purists.
We're reenacting the Middle Ages as they should have been.
Every kingdom needs a king and queen, and it just so happens the Middle Kingdom's royalty hails from right here in the Cleftlands.
My name is Wigthane the Younger. I am the current king of the Middle Kingdom.
I am Neessa Okahase, current queen of the Middle Kingdom.
We travel around the kingdom on a weekly basis, going from Ohio to Michigan to Kentucky to Illinois and Indiana, giving out awards to people within the kingdom who have done work that inspires other people.
What do you think it is that draws people to the past?
I think to a certain extent, it's the hands-on nature of things. It's a community as well. And this started out as a party among friends, and whatever else we're doing, it remains at its heart a party among friends.
These enthusiasts recognize that some outsiders might consider their gatherings to be a bit peculiar.
I think everybody here will proudly identify themselves as some type of nerd.
Personally, I think it's great when people who share a common interest find each other and form a community. And I can understand the appeal to revisiting the past. We currently live in some pretty stressful times. Leaving the modern world behind you for a couple of hours a week could prove pretty cathartic.
How do you guys end your meetings? Is it just dwindle out, or do you have like a saying or anything?
When my Baronessa and I end our meetings, it's traditional that we call the kingdom's battle cry. Our cry is Draco Invictus.
Do we want to give that a shot, maybe?
Shall we try it? Draco!
Wow, that really worked.
This is Mike, hobnobbing with royalty in Euclid for 3 News.
That's going to be our new sign-off for the newscast.
Draco!
Invictus! Yes.
Wow.
You know, that'll get people's attention if you're emceeing something and everybody's talking, or even at weddings, you know, everybody's talking and you're trying to give a speech. Draco!
Invictus!
It could be a thing.
You just need to have somebody on the other end to help you out with the end of it,
Like
right?
the OHIO.
Yeah. I can imagine that, you know, Mike touched on it in the piece. You know, they're not completely committed to this. They're using like all the modern amenities of air conditioning and warm indoor showers. But I imagine when you're wearing all of that garb and you're outdoors swinging those swords, I imagine it can get pretty heated underneath that costume, if you know what I mean.
Fragrant.
That's one way of saying it. Yeah, that's one way of saying it. I was saying during the piece, it just goes to show that no matter what your hobby or interests are, there's likely a huge community of people that share that interest. And I'm glad they've found one another and they can convene and have their meetings and live out their pre-17th century fantasies. It's wonderful.
And would your spouse or significant other have to be into it too? Like, wouldn't it be?
I would think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. If my husband wants to go to that, I could just go have some wine with my friends that night.
Live your 21st century dreams.
Exactly.
Why not me?
All right.
All right.
Great job, Mike Polk.
Great job.
Wonderful.
And that was wholly entertaining. Thanks, guys.